Hey, what's up, everyone? The state of the ecosystem is strong. It's Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. I want to thank you guys for coming back in. I take these off, man, until I do my live interviews. Listen, oh, and it's crackling. I want to thank you guys. Listen, man, this was a trying start. Busy week, right? It's cold, and what's the weather doing? And then last show I had my looks like my audio is good. Let me know if my audio's okay and my video's okay. Because last Tuesday night my laptop needed a band-aid, so and you guys were really generous and helpful. So what I'm doing is I'm trying out a different laptop. I got a used laptop that my good friend Nate at Nate PC is really doing me a solid, helping me, try out another machine. Has a little bit of cosmetic damage, but otherwise it's much faster than what I was using. And in fact, not only is this laptop faster, but I'm also hardwired into the router. So I'm looking for, I want some super, fast internet State of the Union stuff. So yeah, so the State of the Union's going on right. So I mean, if you're watching me, are you missing the State of the Union? No, man, come on. You got your multimedia set up. You got the State of the Union. You got me, and then you're just waiting for Fortnite to load. I know how it's going. So listen, man, I want to thank you guys all for coming back into Auto Transport Intel. My name is Jay. I'm talking about all things car hauling. We're talking to new car shipping customers. We're training new car hauling business owners on how to get set up, doing dispatcher training, talking to brokers, talking to lead generators, dealers, auctions, equipment manufacturers, insurance agents, DOT, and motor carrier compliance folks. So it's the whole ecosystem, all right? So if it has anything to do with auto transport, we're going to talk about it here, and I want you to, feel welcome to join into the live chat. This is Auto Transport Intel, where car haulers work together, and you are welcome to join me here. So I really appreciate you tuning in. So we did the 0-0 welcome back car hauler. In a couple minutes, I'm going to go say hello to the live chat. I still got my live chat screen over here. I got my camera over here. And then somewhere over there, I got my ELD Kool-Aid. All right. And then after that, I'm going to go into industry news after I say hello because, I love seeing you guys in the show. It's a huge part of it. And then, what's cool? There's lots of great feedback coming in. Actually, shout out to Sheldon, all right? So Sheldon was telling Ty that, he felt like, this is part of his family now, this show every Tuesday night, and that's exactly what I'm looking for because, you're part of my family. I'm tuning in to you, tuning in to this every Tuesday night. All right, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to definitely do that, and then we're going to do industry news, which is Facebook memes, all the stuff nobody else wants, all the memes and the photos and the sarcasm and the education and the information. Okay, there are other informational videos out there. That's for sure. And I like to share them. So if you've got a video, if you made a video and you're throwing down some car hauling knowledge, I'll share it. Absolutely. This is a channel, not an island. All right. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then after some industry news, and after we have a little bit of fun, that's right, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Then we're going to have an interview with Tom at Bats CRM. What is Bats CRM? Did you get the email? All right, so this email went out, and I like to keep this show current, man. If something happens tomorrow and I need to know about it, maybe it'll be on next week's show. All right, so Bats CRM, Tom sent out this email, Tom and crew, and it's basically, we know that central dispatch prices are going up. Boo. All right, so central dispatch prices allegedly are going up. I mean, they sent out an email that, gosh, we really need to, yeah, prices need to go up. All right, well, Bat CRM caught on to it. Hey, why pay more for JTracker? Get Bat CRM. So we're going to talk to Tom. We're going to learn what that's about. I'm excited about that interview. And then we're going to go into the panel. We're going to have a panel where the Grifos are going to join us, Dan the dispatcher, along with Tom at Bats. We're talking about broker CRM and office software. How do you manage your customer database? What's a CRM? What is a CRM? Customer Relations Management. That's software. That's how you manage your customers. So we're going to have a panel. We're going to talk about all the software in the office. And then we're going to have a special guest at the end of the show. That'll be Luke. He's got PermitBook. Now, Luke is with Glostone Trucking Solutions, and they've got they're in beta on a software called PermitBook. It's not even legal everywhere. So, dude, oh my gosh, dude, it's not even like legal everywhere. So, we're going to learn more about that. That's going to be awesome. Okay, so let's go into the live chat. And like I said, let me know if I'm having any audio or video issues. And yeah, Nate's IT Nate's IT, man. Nate's, dude. Really, I mean, actually, I called him earlier. Dude, I'm trying to go through the video settings, the audio settings. I had to get into the NVIDIA card. I was on YouTube watching a troubleshooting video. I'm not kidding, man. Up until the wire, this show. So, I mean, it seems like it's working. It looks like I'm streaming. It looks like I'm talking. So I don't think you guys are here. So anyways, I'm just hoping for the best. Let's see. So, Paul is here. What's up, Paul? Welcome back to the show, man. Good to see you in here. Are you staying warm, Paul? I know you are, because when that cold snap hit, man, you headed south. That's right. Purveyor of Odd Things is with us. Welcome back, Purveyor of Odd Things. I appreciate you coming back. By the way, guys, it's no secret. I can no longer keep track of who's here and who's been here, and I'm really trying. I'm struggling with it. So, because I want to know everybody, but the screen names and the real names and the passport photos, and then you've got, when you're surfing, you've got a different name, and then when you're at the mall, and then you're playing Fortnite, and it's a different name. So I apologize ahead of time. So, but I appreciate you I really do appreciate you coming in and saying hello. Richard is with us. Hey, what's up, Richard? Thanks for tuning in. You're not watching the State of the Union? All right, this is the State of the Union, huh? Okay. Bill with Bad Apples is with us. What's up, Bill? Welcome back to the show. Market Trucking Answers. Yes, I am distilling the information, and there's not as much drama. There's not as much squabbling. Artie Champ is with us. Second week for me out of Raleigh, North Carolina, ready to learn. Well, thank you, Artie Champ. That helps me a lot. I know how many weeks you've been here. I know where you're coming from. I really appreciate that, and I hope that the show lives up to your expectations. I really do. We all, especially with media. Oh my gosh. I mean, you got about 30 seconds on a new TV show. Like, honey, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it. Gump White is with us. Hey, what's up? You're new to the live show. Well, welcome to the show, Gump White. I appreciate you tuning in. I will say, I don't think I've seen you in here before. Plus, you told me, so that helps. Javier Baruca, hello everyone from DC, the nation's capital. All right, Javier, thanks for tuning in. And if you guys have a question, live chat it. If I can help you, if somebody else can help you, if you can help yourself, or you know, whatever we can do. This is a good community, so you're safe here. So ask the really crazy questions. Hey, the Sonic guy again. Oh yes, the Sonic dude, Sonic the Hedgehog. That's hilarious. Hey, Joe from Car Shipper is here. What's up? Oh, the sound is good? Awesome. Thank you. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. I swear, man, it was like 40 minutes ago and I was getting an echo of my own self. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do a show where I've got my own echo. That's just not going to work. It's not going to fly. So, purveyor of odd things. Nate's IT. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. You got a problem? Talk to Nate. Ants Transportation, looking good as always. Thank you, Ants. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming back. And those are very kind words. You know, don't be shy. Hit that like button anytime. I really do appreciate it. Helps my Google rankings. I rise in YouTube. All that stuff. And, you know, it's good for my ego. Okay. Max says, I'll watch the State of the Union on Saturday Night Live. Oh, no kidding, man. I'll tell you what. I got to tell you, I don't even know how to finish this sentence, but sometimes I really enjoy that show, but I don't catch it every Saturday night, you know. Sometimes I watch the Super Bowl to get my funnies. Okay. Let's see here. Viper says, hello. What's up, Vinny? Welcome back to the show. Part of the core, man. Part of the core. Let's see. LOL. Max is much better. M feels, hey, Jay, it's Marcus of Exclusive Luxury Transport in Las Vegas. Just wanted to say what's up to you and everyone watching the show. Well, we appreciate that. Marcus of Exclusive Luxury Transport in Las Vegas, really do. Thanks for tuning in. Even if it's just to get a, you know, promotion. You could probably string together all the times I've said that. You can make a whole video. Of course, I'm always wearing the same shirt, but at least the background changes slightly. What else we got? American Veterans Auto Transport LLC. Happy Tuesday. Hey, well, welcome to the show, American Veterans Auto Transport. That's cool. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Gump White says the sound looks good. That's awesome. Oh, you're smashing the lime button. Awesome. Oh, and the like button. I like the lime button. Anybody watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? They might have a lime button. I'm away from the house for once. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's good to be away. Oh, you're away at the house? You're usually not at the... I don't think you're at the house usually. You're actually at the house? It's cold out there, man. Hey, what's up, Shannon? Thanks for tuning in. We are running the Legal Shield ad this month. We've got weekly Legal Shield ads. Listen, if you've got a question about personal privacy and safety of your own, you know, let's say you need a lawyer, right? You're in a situation. You could really use some legal advice. I know. It's happened to me. It happens to everybody. Maybe you're just looking to put together your last will and testament. Whatever it is, in the times where you want some legal advice, what do? How do you get a hold of an attorney and get some advice without spending that, you know, $200-300 consult fee? The answer is you get Legal Shield. You get Legal Shield, you pay a monthly fee for personal legal service and advice. You check the rules to see how many times you can use it a year, kind of like AAA. But it's nice having that peace of mind. And what's really cool is, and Shannon can tell you more about this, Legal Shield offers a CDL program. You have a CDL, don't you? You want to protect that CDL? Well, do you want it to be expensive? You're in that moment and you're facing, you know, you're facing court, fines, fees, heart attack. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Get the CDL program from Legal Shield. Talk to Shannon. He can tell you all about it. So we're going to also run that ad later. We'll see Ted Wright as he talks more about it. Okay, Lee Jones, thumbs up. What's up, Lee Jones? Welcome to the show. Stephen Cover, hey, you sound under the weather. You know, I'm still, man, I have had a, thank you for, you know, noticing or, you know, your support. I'm just kidding. Yeah, man, like 2-3 weeks ago, actually before Christmas, I caught something. Dang, it's February? That's crazy. So yeah, Still working it through, taking vitamin C, taking Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus in the evening. I like Tylenol day, what's that stuff called? Day flu, day therapy. I like that day therapy stuff. TNT Transport Services, how's it going? Excited to learn some broker stuff. Oh yeah, this is going to be another good show. Tom is a heavy hitter when it comes to knowledge. Great stuff coming up. Where are we at? We're at 8:17. All right, cool. Griff. Yeah, man. Grifo's coming. My husband and I just started transporting. We're using Central Dispatch, but are not profiting very much. Been watching you religiously, are hoping to learn more and more from you. Well, thank you, Caitlin. Yeah, it's interesting. I think the cool thing is that you've seen my journey through the videos. I'm still on the journey. And what I mean by that is a year and a half ago, I was making videos from a dispatcher's perspective, giving Central Dispatch tutorials and booking for drivers. I'm not making those videos anymore, really. Now it's more how's the ecosystem and teaching. I want to help you learn parts of the ecosystem to build a solid business strategy, and that's why CTS got built. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Listen, I say this. You saw, what'd you see, sick of load board leftovers? If you're living off Central Dispatch, for the most part, chances are good you're not profitable. You're not very profitable, and it's not going to be a long-term business strategy, and that's where CTSBusinessCoaching.com, if you've been to CTSBusinessCoaching.com, CTS Transport Business Coaching with Ty, he's the lead coach, and I help get people into the funnel, get them over to Ty, but if you've got dispatch training specific requests, yeah, I can help with that. But if you want to set up a car hauling business, yeah, you might need some CTS Transport Business Coaching. American Veterans, Richard, I love your show for us true bloody car haulers. Thank you, man. I thank you for that. And listen, it's no secret. I don't drive. I don't load. So what business do I have? I guarantee there's got to be people with that question. You know what the answer is? It's a good thing I don't drive and load because I'd be so busy I couldn't do this show and I couldn't help talk about the full ecosystem. And I wouldn't know many of the aspects that I now know as far as like lead generators. How many drivers know that much about lead generators? Okay, now that it's hard to learn a lot, but we are learning and I'm sharing it. I started with the dispatching info, and when it comes to the information, we're just sharing it all. And if you're a YouTuber, if you're on Facebook and you have your own training programs, you're welcome to the channel. All right? I am not an island. I'm a channel. Hey, Jay and all the viewers tuning in from an undisclosed secret bunker. Good for you, man. Because with the State of the Union, okay. Isaac Ortiz, new to the show and you love it. Cool. Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate that. The Rams punted 3 times since the show started. That is hilarious, man. I will drink to that, I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. I was so bored. Oh, I was so bored Sunday. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I was so bored. Were you guys bored? Whew, was I bored. I was so bored that I started taking notes of every time I saw a car commercial. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, man. Punt City. That was crazy. How is the auto transporting business in a bad economy? Example, 2006 through 2009. That's a very good question. That's a show in itself. And I'm going to defer. I don't think I could distill that answer right now. So I'm going to defer that. If anybody can help me get that answer together. But that's actually a really good question. You know why? Because we may be headed for another downturn. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Everything is cyclical. Keyword being sick. And, they say, well, the market. I think that analysts of the market in general say we're headed for another either flatline, downturn, alpha wave. I'm not sure. Hey, thanks for having Ty call me, waiting on the next one. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, no, Ty makes lots of phone calls. That guy's always on the phone. I actually, when I was troubleshooting the setup of the show tonight, I talked to Ty. That was, well, it was almost an hour ago already. And he was on the phone with somebody else. He's on the phone. It's night, dude. He's on the phone. Guy's always on the phone. American Veterans Auto Transport, Caitlin, have you tried the load board? Central's killing us too. You know, that's the problem. I made a video about this, top 5 car hauling load boards, if you've seen it. And the problem is, it's all Central. I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. I wish I had good news. It's pretty much Central. But that, I think is going to change. I hope it's going to change. I mean, they're going to keep raising the price on us. Stuck in Springdale, Arkansas after trying out a dispatcher, almost like I can do the same on my own. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. You know what, Gump? What I would say is this, is that if you find yourself in a situation like that, then try dispatching for yourself. Maybe you don't need a dispatcher. Or maybe there's something wrong with, okay, excuse me, either the dispatcher you had wasn't the dispatcher for you. Maybe the relationship went sour. Maybe maybe your relationship, I don't know how to say this. Sometimes miscommunications happen. Maybe you lost the ability to communicate with your dispatcher. I'll tell you, even some of the drivers that I've worked with, if still every time after years they say, so are you gonna be able to get me out of here? I get frustrated. We start to miscommunicate. So, but if that happens, try dispatching for yourself, because I also believe that if you go through a period where you dispatch for yourself again, or for the first time, or however that works, when you do get another dispatcher that works, you'll like them even more. So it's just a theory. But if you need a referral of a dispatcher, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, and that's one of the things that I do. I'm now, instead of dispatching, I make the show. I try and find people referrals to get the service they're looking for. I make phone calls and I network. I talk to new people all the time. I talked to another trailer manufacturer today. Actually, not a manufacturer, they're a rental company. And unfortunately, they don't rent to car haulers, which, isn't surprising. But what's interesting, and that's where I spend a lot of time learning more and more about trucking now, the trucking industry, the freight industry. There are obviously some main differences, but there's some overlaps there too. I'm trying to find some of the benefits that'll help us car haulers. I consider myself a car hauler, even though I'm sitting at a desk. So I'm more like a desk hauler. Rusty79 Carter, great show. Talked to Ty a couple times on business coaching. Awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for letting me know, Rusty. That's cool. And it's great, man. It's great to have you in the CTS family. We're excited. We now have over 100 people in the CTS business coaching. No joke, man. We have over 100 people in CTS now. And not all those folks are in training or getting coaching. It's a process, but yeah, it's great. It's really growing. And so if you are a company or service and you are looking to access and talk to folks that are new and getting into the business, we seem to have something going here. You might want to send me an email. Or not. Gump, I just got home from Springdale. Lived there for 10 years working for a knife mish. Cool. Maker, that is. Knife maker. I was looking ahead to see what's coming out. American Veterans seem promising. Dried up quick. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too. And you know what? It's interesting that I said the example. If you send me there, can you get me out? No promises. Really, man. Everything is a gamble. Especially if you're chasing the dollars on the load boards. And that's actually why, I know, that's why you need a dispatcher. Because you're driving. You don't have time to check all the load boards. Hang on one second. Okay, so I am looking for a company working under its name. I do not like to open a company. Oh, okay. Looking for a company. Well, you want to lease on. You don't want to start your own company. I understand that. I believe I added you to the CTS first email list. You should have gotten an email. And here's what you do. Keep watching the show. Keep listening. Keep Googling. Keep getting information. By the way, how's the State of the Union going? It's already 8:25. Is it over? Nah, it's not. That thing's long, man. They keep standing up and clapping. Yeah, what's up? Okay, we're gonna. Okay. Oh, do we stand up? Okay, wait. Do we stand up again? No, I'm not gonna stand up. Okay, I'm standing. Yay! Okay. That's pretty much the State of the Union. That's why no matter who's the State of the, I get really bored with that too. That's like the super State of the Union Bowl address. I just wait for the commercials. But anyways, keep watching, keep Googling, and keep asking. That's the best way to learn. We've tried 123 Load Board and Truck Stop Mobile, but I've not made a dime from either. Well, I don't think 123 Load Board has as many car hauling loads. That's a guess. I haven't spent much time up there and haven't looked at it in a while. Actually, let me know. I don't know. Can you tell by their total volume how many are cars? Because I think it's mostly freight. We're very new as we literally took our first load a month ago. Anyone with other load boards, please share. Well, check out top 5. Google top 5 car hauling load boards, and it's pretty informative. I mean, I spent a lot of time on that video, so I hope it helps. Hey Jay, glad to be here. Thank you for all the info. All right, Ronnie, thank you, man. Thumbs up. I appreciate that. I really do. Was told it all takes off in February. Well, true. This is the slow time, no doubt about it. It is cold outside, and it just so happens that, obviously it's not a coincidence that our seasonal car hauling industry, this is the slow time. December and January, that's the toughest. So things should, as soon as this sprinkly ice, what do they call it? What do they call that when it's raining ice? Winter moist? I don't know what it's called. It's not called winter moist. As soon as that ends, things should get a little bit better. I'm sorry. Try to enjoy the scenery. Jay, you have taught me more than the $700 class I paid for. Check out his videos. Wow. Wow. Thank you. That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. I really appreciate that. It's interesting. Sometimes I'll watch. Actually, that's what I was doing Monday because my laptop was still being looked at. So I was watching car hauling videos, and I saw some of my older videos, and I saw some other folks' videos. And there is a lot of knowledge out there. That's what's cool. If you can drive and just listen to YouTube, yeah, man, there's so much information. But I really do. I try to help, and I appreciate that. And I know those are long shows, and there's no magic pill. I don't have an Auto Transport Intel magic pill. I wish I did. I'd take it. But I don't. And so these are long shows, and if you want to skip ahead through all the intro stuff and then just go right to the, true blue information, you can do that. I know Tom's going to throw down some info. We need to get to the, I just have so much fun talking to the live chat. It's fun. I dispatched myself since November, been living off Central, doing 3K a week. Yeah. How many cars, Gump? How many cars? Car haulers are the nicest people on earth. They are pretty nice people. They work hard, and they're thankful to meet other human beings. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. I have a friend of mine that does car hauling with a 4-car on the East Coast, seems to stay pretty busy with Central. And you can. I mean, for some people, it works awesome. He promised no less than 4K. Well, there's your first mistake. Nobody should make any promises. I never. I guarantee. No. I don't. That's why I did it. Good thing is no contract with them. I'm trying to give them a chance without going broke. Yeah, I hear that. What do we got here? Gump, I'm a dispatcher. Oh, here we go. Here you go, Gump. Here's a dispatcher. Keenan. You got Keenan's email. You got Keenan's phone number. Awesome, Keenan. Keenan got mentioned in one of my recent video clip blurbs. Was that load board leftovers? I think it was. Chico, it's basically just Central in the beginning until you get some clients to get to know. Well, that's right. You use Central, but here's the thing. Here's the strategy. Use Central to fill in the gaps. That's not a business strategy. It can be, but try to get your own customers. I mean, I can't think of a business where you don't try to get your own customers, right? Like, okay, I made the restaurant dumpster example. Let's come up with another one. Like, who just lives off Craigslist and doesn't try to get any customers? Like, if you had a lawn mowing business, wouldn't you try to make friends with people with houses? I mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of straightforward. I realize there's pitfalls and all that, and that, you can't service them to the moon, and I get it. But you still would try to do that, and that would lead somewhere, wouldn't it? Hey, what's up, Chico? Kimberly says no. Trump is winning. Oh, awesome, man. Fantastic. Good time of a day, everybody. Love your show, Jay. You're the best. Wow, thank you, Zender. That is super nice. Man, that's super nice. I'll stand over. All right, Zender. Okay. See, State of the Union. 123 load board is bad for auto transport. That would be my guess. That's just a guess. Jay, you trumping the State of the Union? I'm trumping Trump. That's very interesting. I'm not trumping Trump. Older ones are just as good. Around 13 cars on average. Oh, 3 to 4 car wedge. Yeah. So if you're, listen, if you're only doing 3K on a 3 to 4 car wedge, then you need to ask for more money on every load. Yeah, do that. I'll send you an email, Keenan. That's awesome. Awesome, guys. Awesome. All right, so it's 8:32. So let's do it. Let's try to get into some industry news. I like your memes. Hey, if you got memes, send them to me. I'll share them. Truck drivers, no rich parents, no assistance, no handouts, no favors. Just a straight hustle all day, every day. That's trucking. Dear Lord, protect and guide our truckers during those winter storms and always bring them safely home. Amen. I'm telling you, I was in a blizzard a couple months ago in my car. I was freaking out, dude. So listen, if you're out there on the road and it's wintry mixed city in Kansas City right now, stay safe, say a prayer or two, and then get on to the next route, right? All right, get home to your family. People should make note, the brokers who wanted us to haul dirt cheap and never haul for them. Well, they might make note. You hear a lot, dude. There's a lot of crack-a-lacking on brokers right now. There's your door. So stay safe. If your door looks like that, you might be in wintry mix. Notice, all are welcome, but this is a truck stop. Our truck drivers will be served first, thank you. Shoot yeah, man. Serve it up. Okay, now that, dude, that is no joke, dude. Major Tom, dude. Major Tom. And there's guys driving around in the courtesy van. Yep. Been there, done that. Oh, man, that stinks. You hate that. See, I keep this show super clean because I don't want to get demonetized by YouTube and Google and Facebook and MySpace and Atari. And that is that is called super cold and closed. Steaming, man. That thing is steaming. Oh, that's the exhaust. Okay. Okay. You ever see this? You ever get the POV of this shot, right? Who's had hands this dirty while eating? I have too, actually. I've had some very dirty jobs, and yeah, those are car hauler hands, man. I thought this was interesting. This would be ode to a trash can at Mannheim. So next time you see a trash can at Mannheim, you might think of that. You might take a picture. Send me a picture. I got a tie-down bar that'll fix his headlights. Don't you hate that? I hate that. That's an interesting shot. You guys see, there's a lot of kind of historic type, archival type photos going around. Actually, there's a lot now, and they are really interesting. I don't know the year on this, but check out this one. Here's this one's. Man, now there's some history right there. And I talked to I know Ernest listens. Not is it Ernest? Dang it. There's a couple guys I talked to that are old school, and they check out the show. I don't think it's Ernest that I'm trying to think of, but anyways, got some great photos and history of car haulers. It's a pretty cool photo. Really like that. It was taken yesterday. Okay, that's not true. All right, where is? Do I get any more here? Oh, come on! I know there's more. Oh, are we stuck? Sometimes it happens. Let's see here. Okay, that's just 14. Where's 15 at? Let's go. Okay, so now let's go to the present. This could have been shot yesterday. So Tiny's, he's been active on Facebook, and he's got a bunch of photos, and he was sharing. And so Tiny's does a lot of enclosed. It's always good to have a rollback when you're doing enclosed and you're moving Lambos. Moving Lambos enclosed. Yeah, Serge was talking about that Coco song. He's here. I'm in love with the Volvo and the Lambo. Moving ice cold. Right. Okay. By the way, was that Super Bowl halftime show that bad? I didn't think it was that bad. That was all right. Motorcycle, man. That's pretty sweet. Okay, hey, by the way, and this goes for you. Listen, if you need to get the word out, like JMN is trying to get the word out, 4-car haulers and 4-car combo. These guys are hiring, man. No joke. JMN is seeking experienced 4-car combo and 4-car haulers. Oh, in the KC area here in Kansas City. JMN offers late model equipment, easy spin straps, regional lanes, great service. Listen, you got a phone number, you got a web page, 401k, and all that jazz, dude. Hook it up. So JMN is hiring. Also, hey, Acme's talking about proper inspections can be tricky in winter weather. I mean, you guys know that, but you know what? You know what I like about this? You know who doesn't know all this? New car shippers. You know, they're just like, easy peasy. I got my hair appointment. Just get the car, and then the driver's like, it's like covered in ice and snow and like dog food. Can you work with me here? So, in fact, dog food. I like to keep it loosey-goosey. Okay, so there's a lot of, it's time to winterize your fleet. Winter driving tips for drivers. This is kind of that fleet type information because we've been talking about Fleet February. There's a lot of fleet information. As a fleet owner, right, as opposed to just an owner-operator, there are a lot of additional considerations. You got many trucks to keep running, and then as far as driver considerations, make sure the drivers do get in the trucks, that they're safe, and then they've got all their pre-trip inspection. I mean, you got to make sure you don't skip steps, and then you end up with some kind of freaky fuel line or jacked up brakes or something. So you got a lot to think about. So listen, it's that time again. DealerTrack is raising your prices. New price for the top tier for Central Dispatch is now $9.99. Are you kidding? Holy cow. It's only a matter of time before J-Tracker price doubles as well, allegedly. And what do they have to show for it? No new features in J-Tracker in a decade. Nothing has changed in Central for years. It's time to switch to the future of car shipping. BATS. BATS has all the features that a modern CRM application should have. Automate your business and get ready for ringing the cash register this season. Your competition is switching to BATS in droves. What are you waiting for? All right, so this was the email, and then you click and you can switch to BATS today. So we're going to talk to Tom at BATS CRM. But before we do, I promised a bit of fun. So who wants to have a bit of fun? Anybody? All right, we're going to try this. All right, so here, let's do this. Let's get rid of, let's do that. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a second. I'll put that back. Okay, let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, let me put on my my voiceover. Let me do my voiceover voice. You guys like my voiceover voice? Okay, here we go. Oh, nope, you can't read that. Okay. To import an order from Central Dispatch into your mobile app from your phone in a browser, open your Central Dispatch account. Find shipments, dispatch to me, click on the order, view, print, and that's when you wonder where you've heard me before. You're hearing me now, but it's kind of different because I don't really work there anymore, but this is my voice, so that's kind of weird. Like leaving up all the pictures in your apartment when the next guy moves in and the next guy, but you don't live there anymore. And it's all just kind of bizarre and strange. And then you share it in social media and across email. But where did I hear that voice before? I don't know. I can't tell you. But it is still my voice, so that's kind of weird. All right. Okay. So that one was for I can't remember who was asking me. I got an email and somebody's like, "Hey, is that your voice?" Yeah, it's my voice. I don't know why, but it is my voice. Oh, by the way, guys, I did want to talk about this before we go into okay, Hyundai Shopper Assurance, that was in the Super Bowl. Does anybody know about the Hyundai Shopper Assurance program? I'm guessing no. And then it's not even coming up, so that's okay too. So also we saw Audi was talking about 1/3 of all new Audi models will be electrified by 2025. The e-tron. That's interesting. Okay. And then the price of the Mercedes A-Class, as this was still, I think this was second quarter during the Super Bowl, that Mercedes A-Class is now only going to be like 32 grand, 32.5. It's a pretty good deal on a Mercedes A-Class. Also, now what's this stuff about Toyota Supra coming back? Did you guys hear this? During the Super Bowl, I think it was third quarter, they're talking about how the Toyota Supra is coming back. The Toyota MR2, Toyota Supra. That is really interesting. I think it'd be like, that's like 80s music. I mean, well, there's 80s music everywhere. And then, in the third quarter, Kia's Telluride is taking a serious approach to an important launch. So Kia's Telluride is back. So that's okay, so at $5 million a commercial, by the way, this Hyundai one is not, strange that's not coming up. $5 million a pop, 5 car commercials, $25 million spent on just car ads. And I don't think we saw any car gurus. And by the way, somebody was talking about how Carvana's got a load board. I'm not sure. I thought I had like a blurb about that. But have you guys heard that Carvana has a load board? And in fact, who drives those cute little Carvana trucks? I don't know. Kind of wondering that. All right, man, we're going to talk to Tom here in a second. So listen, you guys, I appreciate you sticking around. And where have I heard my voice before? It's so strange. Just baffling. Not that one. Here we go. Insurance. You've got your equipment. It's time to get insurance so that you can begin the process of getting towards hauling cars. So where do you go? What do you do? When you need insurance, who can you talk to? Well, head on over to Pelican Trucking Insurance and you want to talk to Sam. Now, Sam is a friend of the show, and again, it's PelicanTruckingINS.com, Pelican Trucking Insurance. Go to the webpage, scroll down, you'll find the phone number. There's a phone number, 225-308-9882. You can talk to Sam Farr. Now, it's sfarr@LeMoyneInsurance.com, but he is with Pelican Trucking Insurance, and he wants to answer your questions. He wants to talk to new car haulers. He wants to talk to established car haulers, too, that are looking for a better rate. If you're unhappy with your insurance rate or you don't have a quote yet and you need a new insurance quote, head on over to Pelican Trucking Insurance, PelicanTruckingINS.com. Ask for Sam Farr. You can send him an email, put in a phone call. And again, you're looking for an insurance agent you can get on the phone, you can talk to, you can get advice from. What kind of a deductible do you need? How much insurance do you need per vehicle? What about automotive liability insurance? It's your liability and your cargo. That's what you need so you can get on the road hauling cars, get set up with the brokers on the load boards, or if you're talking to a dealership direct, they're going to ask about your insurance. So go ahead, talk to Pelican Trucking Insurance, ask for Sam. I know he wants to talk to you. Again, here's his phone number. I'm going to scroll down on the page, PelicanTruckingINS.com. Call Sam, 225-308-9882. Send him an email, sfar@lemoineinsurance.com. You can also find him on Facebook and Instagram, and he's waiting for your call. I'm Jay at Auto Transport Intel, and I approve this message. There we go. Now I'm back. Okay, so I was saying, if you do have, and I'm still getting used to some of the changes I made on this laptop, so I apologize. If you have a question about insurance, I do encourage you to contact Sam. If you're looking for a quote, if you just have some basic questions, I mean, you know that when it comes to insurance, switching insurance, getting insurance, and when it comes to coverage and deductibles, you can have a lot of questions. So feel free to contact Sam, and he is happy to answer your questions. Also, I'm going to make a change here. Let's see here. So I got Tom headed in the show right now. So while I do that, let's do. Okay, I've got to. Oh, that's yeah, video capture. Okay, I got to change this. Be careful, freaking out. Okay, all right, that worked. Okay, good. Now what I can do is I can do. Okay, all right, and bang. Okay, all right. So there's me. All right, cool. So now this is me in the Zoom video. Okay, wow. Woo! This is Zoom video. This is the Zoom video camera angle right now. And like I said, Tom is going to join us. And let me just make sure he's got his invite. I'll just try this again. And because like I said, I set up the computer and I want to make sure that, and Tom, if you're listening, by the way, this is a new invite that I send out as opposed to the video test invite that we did. Also, I noticed that there's lots of live chat that I missed, and I want to check this out. Let's see. So we were talking we're talking to Gump about dispatching, and oh, here we go. Hey Tom, how are you doing? Now I can see you, and I don't hear anything yet. Can you hear me?
Also, I noticed that there's lots of.
Hear my show
that I missed.
Sorry.
Check this out.
Turn that down, but that's good. And and here let me put up some lower thirds. So we got Tom. Welcome to the show, Tom. Appreciate you joining me tonight.
Thanks, Jay. Glad to be here.
Awesome. And I actually at the end of my industry news, I shared the that email you sent out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, cool. So all right, so Tom, you are here to talk about BAT CRM and more. You're going to be with us a while. So tell us what's going on with that email and what's going on with BAT CRM.
So I don't know if you've heard, obviously saw our email about the news coming from Central Dispatch, but before I go into that, I want to thank you again for having me on your show. I've seen a lot of your videos out there. You're doing a great job for the industry. Sharing your knowledge. Obviously, you've done this for a while and have a lot of knowledge to share. So I really appreciate that. We're here to try to do the same thing. You know, we're a software company. We are trying to help the industry and help the players in the industry make more money, improve their businesses. So when we see things like Central Dispatch increasing their prices by 40% overnight, for brokers, it's just doesn't seem right. So we've been working on some software solutions for the industry for a while. We've released CRM software for car shipping brokers, and we've had great response to our CRM software, to the point where we've decided to also develop a load board to go along with that software, because we see that Central Dispatch has not been updated in years. I've been around this industry for about 7 years, and coming from an IT world, I see that they just don't care about this software. They have not made any changes. And again, like I said, all of a sudden, they're increasing prices. Your listeners, who are mostly trucking companies, know that a few years ago when DealerTrack acquired Central Dispatch, they raised prices tremendously as well. So this is now part of a huge conglomerate, Cox Automotive, and they're just trying to make more money out of any angle that they can make more money from. So that's what that news was all about. So we decided to take that and take that opportunity to announce arrival of our load board. We plan to have a lot of tools for truck drivers as well as brokers to allow them to be more efficient, right? Because this is a volume industry. Everybody's working on volume, small transactions on large volumes. So in order to do that, you need better tools. Obviously, those tools have to come from software and technology. You're familiar with a lot of software and technology companies out there that have changed the entire industry, like Uber, for example. So we're going to offer some tools that are similar to that are going to allow trucking companies to find loads a lot easier, that are going to allow brokers to find trucking companies to transport their loads a lot easier. And again, by use of technology, we are going to automate and streamline this industry and allow everyone to make more money.
Check, check, check.
I can hear you.
Okay, so that's interesting. So you could hear me, but they can't. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat what I said. Okay, no problem. And like I said, I apologize. This laptop is my first time. I'm here live, man, making a gamble. But now, okay, the audio's here. So I'm gonna say it again. Is that just to recap quickly? Is that we see a lot of comments about that help us lead into what we need to talk about, and whether it's news stories or people's live chats. And while the cost in Central Dispatch, it's amazing. If bad press is good press, then they sure do get a lot of great press, because there is so much negative stuff to talk about, and it seems like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they do care. Nobody seems to really know. But what we do know is that we need folks to come up with better solutions soon, right? So that we can all hang on to more of our money, or maybe make better car shipping transactions. I mean, there's many things at stake here. But yeah, number one is that Central Dispatch load board has a stranglehold on this industry. It's clearly the number one load board by so much. And when the old look went away in fall of 2017, I hated that. As a dispatcher, I hated it so much. And I can be so specific of why. Because they took away a simple functionality that made me able to do my job. Okay, so like the screens behind me. Actually, I used these screens when I was dispatching. And each screen I could divide up into 3 columns. So I could have 6 columns. I could watch 6 columns of load board searches at a time. That was with the old look. With the new look, I could no longer make the columns wide, narrow. I needed them narrow so I could fit a bunch on a screen. I couldn't make them narrow and see enough information. I swear, it totally screwed up how I was trying. I kept trying to figure out a workaround. I could not. Now, I think it was better for people on mobile devices rather than people sitting at desktops. Now, if the central dispatch coders knew, hey, our target is drivers sitting in their truck with one phone looking at one screen. Those are the guys we want to cater to. We want to stop the business of dispatchers. Then they were right on target. Because as a dispatcher, I'm telling you, it was a nightmare, which is funny because it coincided with me being angry about dispatching anyways. But yeah, I mean, it's not helpful software just as a dispatcher. I've heard brokers say that JTracker isn't the solution they're looking for. So whether they need to raise the price to like $1 million a month and that'll finally cause the revolution, I don't know. That's why I like your email, because what's it gonna take, right?
Exactly. And we've heard for years, I've been around this industry for 7 years, and all I've heard even from back then is complaints about JTracker and Central Dispatch. I mean, this is not anything new. And this is what prompted me to start building better software for this industry, because I saw an opportunity there. And you're absolutely right. How much can these people take, the brokers and the drivers, from this company? And here's another fundamental problem with the business and the industry, the way that it's working right now, is that the Central Dispatch and JTracker, because they were the biggest players in the industry, have really ruined the industry for everyone, because they've built the tools and made everyone adapt to these tools that they've built, right? So you have an industry that works backwards. What's happening is the brokers are pricing the loads and then shoving them down the throat of carriers at the prices that they determine, instead of the carriers setting the prices, because carriers know what it costs for them to operate their trucks and how much it costs per mile to transport a vehicle and things like that. And then you end up in these fights that I hear about all the time. I don't do dispatching, I don't do brokering, I don't do sales, but I hear stories all the time about brokers and carriers working against each other instead of together to make this industry better, right? Because brokers are the sales arm. They want to try and sell as much as possible at the lowest price. And then, they try to find a carrier to transport these loads at these low prices that they're selling to customers. And it's just backwards, right?
Yes.
And this is because of the limitations of the software that's out there. And, carriers and drivers know, like you talked about, carriers finding their own customers and using load board to fill in their empty capacity. They know that when they work directly with customers, they get realistic prices for what they need to transport a vehicle. But when they go to the load board, it's a battle to try to get a decent price.
And that it's interesting. That's why it's really once it hits the load board. And I mean, I make jokes, right? Because that's the only way I can stand it. Is that that rate is a race to the bottom. And
absolutely.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, it's so interesting. I'm sure you're following the news of Convoy, and you and I talked a little bit previously.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like Convoy is like stirrings of a new religion. Like, really? Is there really something better than what we've got? Gosh, really? And I was reading an article today. I mean, they're ratcheting up their message. And I think they just said that they feel like they're closer to 100% automation than they've ever been before. I mean, and that makes sense. But to actually say we're close to 100% automation, I mean, that's a pretty gutsy thing to say when you're talking about automated load boards. All right, so what am I talking about? Let me just clarify. Sometimes I like to jump into the ring and stop the fight for a second and explain what's happening, grab the matrix bullets and identify what exactly am I talking about. Okay, I'm talking about, we know that, okay, we need a better load board. Well, what if instead of when we talk about how the functionality of central dispatch, what if in the future when we have magical load board, what if we didn't have to worry about how it functioned because it fed us loads that it knew, that it learned would be good for our truck, right? So we didn't have to search for cars, but the load board got smart enough to offer us cars and begin to just book us cars that actually worked. Now that seems like a crazy dream. In fact, that's going to scare some people. And you know, everything is scary. The future is scary. AI is scary. It's going to get weird. Okay? But if you're a car hauler and you're paying for notifications and you're paying for the load board, dude, you're begging for this stuff. You're begging for a load board to understand your route and your pricing and your expectations and just to suggest you loads. Am I right?
You're absolutely on the money, Jay. I mean, again, carriers need to be in control of pricing because they know the real cost of operating their fleet. So that this is, I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight, an early reveal. One of the things that we're going to have on our load board is the ability for carriers to put in the price that they're willing to transport, price per mile on a specific route, and we'll match them with loads that come up on our load board. And we're also going to use that information to provide better pricing tools for brokers in our CRM. So we already have a pricing engine that we've developed using a lot of modern technologies that you've just mentioned and stuff. And I don't want to reveal the secret sauce because I know a lot of competitors are watching right now.
Right.
But, you know, we've developed a pricing engine that prices loads a lot better than a human can, because right now brokers have their sales reps, individuals pricing loads based on their experience, based on limited information that they're getting either from Central Dispatch or from JTracker. We want to turn that upside down and provide better pricing tools so that everyone can make more. If brokers can price their loads better up front at a price that they know will get dispatched, then they can have better conversations with customers, and they can get loads priced correctly so that the carriers can make money and there isn't this constant bickering between the two sides. You got to work together to make this happen. So that's one of the things, again, on our load board, we're going to allow carriers, it's not going to happen overnight, right? We know that, but we're here for the long run, right? We're going to provide these tools to both sides to be able to understand pricing better, to be able to, like you've just said, only notify me when you find loads that are on my route, right? That I'm driving right now. How about that? How about an Uber model for car shipping?
Right.
So
Uber is another religion that we're hearing about, right? And I don't want to freak anybody out with this religious analogy, but I'm going to go with it because it's like we're ready for some kind of new and crazy message. We are boiling frogs, and we're just boiling like crazy. We have no idea how hot this water is right now.
Right. So yeah, a lot of terms are being thrown around. There are companies working on these things. We think that we are at the forefront of all of this. Our load board's coming online very, very soon. We're going to have all of our brokers who are currently using our CRM software are going to be posting their loads on our load board as well.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a significant size load board right from the start. The tools that we're building, some of them are going to be available right from the beginning when we release our load board. Some of the other mobile tools that we're building is what I'm really, really excited about, are going to allow drivers to manage their business a lot better and to see the profitability of their loads and to be able to control what loads they get notifications about. You know, again, I don't want to I'm getting excited and I don't want to reveal too much, but you know, because we want to keep something for our release announcement when we're ready to release our load board. But those tools are coming. We've already made life tremendously easier for brokers with the tools that we've built into our CRM software for brokers, such as automated pricing,
Right.
electronic document signatures that are built in right into the same system. Um, uh, a lot of other tools that help brokers automate their business so they can process more volume, so they can be more profitable. They can automate their businesses because that's what it's all about. Another thing that this industry is stuck a little bit in yesteryear with in terms of automation and tools that are available to brokers. I mean, you talked a little bit about JTracker. When was the last time that software was
Oh
updated?
man, no kidding. I don't.
Right?
I don't even know. And that thing is, full disclosure, I've never used JTracker, so I try to learn as much as I can about it. But I hear the feedback on JTracker is pretty much what I say about Central. And I know, man, I have used, as far as the load board goes, I have worn it out. And I cannot find, I realize there's other software. By the way, like we have a software right here, Truckify Inc. It has given me a super chat. They've got a car hauling app. And I think that I'm also, they're going to be on the show. I got some other folks with software that are going to be on the show. There's a lot of people now playing in the space. Like you said, that's why the secret sauce, you got to keep it. But there are so many people that are ready to join the revolution that, man, there are a lot of bricks coming at this wall. Right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hey, there's your State of the Union speech. Hey, yeah. So, I mean, it really, it's amazing to me that I guess I kind of feel lucky almost. Like I'm broadcasting. What they say, the revolution will be televised. Okay, well, I'm the one
Yep.
broadcasting it. I'm broadcasting the revolution. I can't wait to watch it live here week after week. We're gonna see this. I really feel like this this total addiction to Central Dispatch. We're gonna see the end of that in the next
Mhm.
12 to 18 months, maybe. I don't know.
It's going to depend on carriers and brokers. Are they ready, right? And we know on the broker side the question is not so much anymore are they ready, because we know they're coming to BAT CRM. They're excited about using these new tools that we've built, and we believe it's going to be about who's the first one there, right? Who's going to be the first one to, not the finish line, but the first one out with the tools that, and the first ones to adopt these tools. Because you know what happens in a revolution, right? Somebody's got to win.
Somebody's got to lose.
So, you got to pick the right technology in this instance to move forward with, and we believe that's our technology. We're going to show, in a month or so what that looks like. So you don't want to be left behind if you're a broker or a carrier when it comes to picking the right technology and right tools to run your business.
And I want to say a couple of things too. Is that number one, we already know that having a load board automatically load you, i.e., load matching and where it's headed, is not a crazy idea because auto quoting software already exists and it works quite well in many cases, right? So
Yep.
so we know that. And also I want to say this too, is that this is not a gonna get you Central Dispatch vendetta show. The more I learn about Cox Automotive is so busy with mobility and serving dealerships and auctions. It's time to pass the torch. It really is. I wonder if they already know that. Like they're just, they're cashing out. They're just letting to see where's the revolution going to go. We're just not really worried about this thing anymore. We're focused. We got a million things to focus on other than maintaining, the Craigslist of auto transport, right?
Exactly.
So
It's a crumb in their pie. I mean, when you look at the size of that enterprise, this segment is such a tiny crumb that, that they've given up on it.
yeah. So and I think that's the really good news is that it's not like once the castle gets once everyone storms the castle, they're going to find out it's empty.
Right. Right.
Right. So what's the problem? The
Exactly.
sooner the better. Roll up the siege towers. Let's play Game of Thrones.
Right. And you're absolutely right. This is not about, anti-central dispatch, let's bring them down thing. It's let's provide the best tools. If central dispatch wakes up one day and decides to improve their technology, improve their website, improve their software, hey,
That'd be great.
That would be great for the industry. But
it's not going to happen.
Chances are that's not going to happen. They have not shown anything in what, it's been 10 years since they've owned this.
I mean, years.
Central dispatch. Yeah.
And I say this too. Like, listen, if Cox bought Ready Auto, which they did, and Ready Auto has a mobile app, why hasn't there been any movement to bring the Ready Auto mobile app to Central? Nothing. Not a peep. Nothing. Not that I know of.
Well, there's conflict of interest there.
Well, I mean, but if you own both companies, I mean, that's like Macintosh and Lisa had nobody except Mac understood that argument. I mean,
exactly.
You're both in Mac. I don't get it. So Steve Jobs understood it, and there he is over your left shoulder. So
there he is.
We'll just have to check with Steve Jobs, and then it's then you got Tesla too.
There's the other guy who's also who's also trying to change this industry as well. Yeah, look at the self-driving electric trucks coming down the pike.
Oh yeah.
Pretty soon, from what it looks like.
It's very interesting, and just like that's why I said, right, that fits in with the whole AI is freaky. Is that autonomous trucks? You look at autonomous trucks and you think, first you go, and then you go, nah, no way. And then a little later you go, oh, okay, yeah, no, it's going to be sooner than I thought. Which explains, I mean, ELD, love it or hate it, ELD is just one step closer to autonomous trucks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Makes you wonder about what this crackdown on ELD is all about. Or not just ELD, but logs in general.
Yeah. Exactly? What is it all about? Because you can sell anything under the guise of safety. Shoot, America has sold all kinds of stuff under the guise of safety. I'll bet you right now in the State of the Union, somebody just said safety, and everyone stood up, yeah, safety. It's garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got to, and this is why a show like yours is very important, because you're bringing all these topics up to the surface so that your viewers and listeners can educate themselves that these things are coming, right? Yeah. And they can be ready, because new load board with these great tools is pretty cool sounding and everything. But what about that next thing that's coming next, which is self-driving trucks? How is that going to change the industry, right? How is that going to impact everyone? We don't know when that's coming.
No.
We honestly don't. I mean, Tesla is pushing really hard, but who knows?
It won't be soon, but it'll be sooner than we think. And what I think is this, and I appreciate that. I'm on the people's side. I really am, because I want to get this information out. It's no, we can't not talk about it. We need to talk about it because it's coming. And if we know it's coming and we understand the process and how we're getting there, then we can educate ourselves to be ready. It's kind of like when they went and suddenly shut down, like manufacturing plants, and everybody just lost their job. Well, the people that knew it was coming and began to get on board with learning what was going to help them next to integrate with the robots or whatever, well, they made it. And so if we're going to integrate with the robots and the autonomous trucks, I believe what's going to happen for a lot of folks is, you're still going to be there to load and unload, and you're still going to be there for some of the shorter run driving, the specifics where, a robot's just not going to be able to handle all these unknowns. But you're also going to be part dispatcher and or part broker. So your office literally will be in the truck. And you'll be kind of like the quarterback. The quarterback hears everything the coach says. It's going to be like that. You're going to be juiced into the coach. Yeah.
Right. You can run your imagination run wild, but you can also just watch some science fiction movies to easily see what that's going to look like. Look, those guys, shoot, I always think about that movie I, Robot, where these self-driving cars and trucks are flying all over the place and stuff. That's not that far off, but it is going to change, what a truck driver looks like, not what it looks like, but what that job means. It's not going to be driving anymore, but like you said, it's going to be more of managing that whole process. Somebody's got to unload, right? Somebody's got to unload those cars.
And how are you going to manage your loads and your customers? With a CRM.
And the automated load board.
That's right, man. That's right. And well, you know what I like is, so if you stretch your mind into the future, like, okay, I just took us to scary AI, and then we come back to, oh, I feel so much better. Well, maybe I should just enjoy the present because we're still here, right? I'm not hooked into anything. I got no wires.
Right.
Not yet.
Oh, you're hooked in.
Right? Oh, see, there you go.
You're in the Matrix, buddy.
Yeah, dude. Oh, right. Yeah, no, but so let's do this before I bring in, before we go into the live panel. So what's going on with BAT CRM? This is a broker tool.
Correct. So BAT CRM is replacement software for JTracker, if you will. So it's the broker side software, allows them to automate their business, right? Because if you can't automate and streamline, you're going to be left behind. So customers are looking for better pricing. They want cheaper service for transporting their vehicles. And for brokers to stay competitive, they have to streamline their operation. They have to process more leads and quotes and orders with the same resources. Look, this is nothing new. You talked about, manufacturing plants that have gone elsewhere. Some of them disappeared because of automation and robots and things.
Right.
And that's what needs to happen in this industry. It's way too manual. There's a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted resources. So those brokers who jump on board and get ahead of everyone else are the ones who are going to be most successful, because they're going to be able to use these tools to automate and streamline their businesses, squeeze more out of less. I mean, that's what we all have to do. It's nature of any business. So we've had great response and reception with BAT CRM. We've proven our pricing tool over the past year or so that it's been live and in production. It works really well. The brokers who are using our automated pricing are able to price more leads, more quotes, and are able to, again, do more with less and price it more accurately. I mean, every time I do a demo, I laugh. This is really funny because everybody thinks they're expert at what they do. I mean, I think I'm an expert at what I do. That's just, yeah. So when I do demos and I'm demonstrating this automated pricing tool and a price comes up on the screen and first reaction is always, oh, that's not right. That price is not right. And then we post it to the load board and the phone starts ringing off the hook because it's priced right.
That's awesome,
because it's attracting attention from carriers because it's priced correctly. It's competitive on the sales side because those are two sides of the business, sales and operations, right? Sales guys are trying to sell it cheap. Operations is trying to get more money, to run their part of the business. And so we have to fix that. And that's what we're doing with BAT's software. We're making it easier to reach out to customers. We just released a great new tool today, just to celebrate our appearance on your show.
Awesome.
You can brokers can now schedule texting campaigns so they can reach out to customers not only via email for their automated sales campaign. They can also schedule automated texting campaigns.
Awesome.
So they can schedule text messages to go out on a certain schedule instead of having to sit there and click and copy and paste the text message into a text messaging app, etc. So they can schedule, for example, an email to go out with a quote immediately as soon as that lead comes into the system. It's priced. This takes literally 3 seconds for the first email to go out after the lead's received. Doesn't matter if it's middle of the night, if it's 10:20, or you're watching the State of the Union address, BATS is doing your work for you. So then you can schedule automated texting campaigns. So you send out an email, then the next day you send out a text message. So you're alternating texting and emailing and phone calls, because it's hard to reach people. Look, we're all busy. We all have a job. We all have kids and other things that we need to take care of throughout the day. So you have to be able to reach these customers when it's convenient for them, not when it's convenient for you. And that's what automation does for you.
Wow, that's awesome. Lynn, here's you know what? Actually, I'm going to ask my question. Let's do this. Let's take a pause. This is awesome. I mean, I knew this was going to be great stuff. I still got tons more to say. But what I want to do is I want to bring in our other folks in the panel and see what questions they come up with. So stick with me for a second. Hang out. I'm going to run an ad. I'm going to do some invitations. And we will be back with Tom and Bats and the Grifos and Dan the Dispatcher. All right. So here, let me do this. And let me do this.
Absolutely. With this particular plan, this is a specialty plan that actually protects you as you are in commission of a CDL truck. So when you're behind the wheel of a rig, outside of your personal vehicle, anything that's considered a CDL vehicle, you get access to a plan that protects you in that world. So just for example, this is a commercial driver's legal plan that we particularly offer. We offer specifically to commercial drivers, whether or not you're an owner-operator or you actually drive for a company, you can have access to this. So what it's going to actually give you is tragic accident representation. So that means if you kill somebody in a vehicle, it don't have to be your fault. Somebody slams on brakes in front of you. Now you're in a situation where you had a multi-thousand-pound vehicle that killed someone, and now how much is that going to cost you to get representation for that? Well, Legal Shield's going to be able to represent you as long as you weren't drinking or driving or anything like that. Win, lose, or draw, you'll be covered throughout the trial for that situation. We're going to give you coverage on all your motor vehicle moving traffic violations, whether it could be a logbook violation, overweight, it could be anything dealing with speeding, missing a scale, any of those things that may happen. And those tickets are quite expensive for a truck driver versus us regular people who drive a regular car. And sometimes they can sit that truck there until you pay that fine before you can move it. So this is going to give you access to be able to have attorneys represent you in court so that you don't physically have to be there. You can still be moving loads, making money, while the attorneys are handling those pieces of your business that may pop up. And this is a national program as well, by the way. So that means if you're driving anywhere in the United States or Canada, this plan covers you. Also, we're going to help you with IRS audit situation. A lot of you guys are owner-operators. Then you got to do taxes. It's 1099 income. How do you report that stuff? How do you know what you can write off? If you get audited, who do you call? Well, it's usually in a tax attorney's thousands of dollars an hour just to get help with that. Well, with this program, 50 hours already taken care of if you're audited, for them to go to the audit with you and all those types of things as well. The last thing I want to tell you real briefly, this plan is going to actually give you access to get your will done. Folks, in this country, 90% of minorities and 70% of all Americans, we all going to die. But those percentages do not have a last will and testament to leave and dictate where their assets go upon death. Folks, we can say everybody, let somebody else figure it out, but the state is hoping that you don't have one. Why? Because they get a percentage when they have to get their attorneys involved to be able to figure out what to do with the rest of your assets. But also, folks, who raises your kids? What happens to the schools they go to? What about the morals and things that you're putting into them? Who's going to raise them? The will allows you to be able to get that done. There's no additional cost. It's included in your membership. Folks, this membership is $32.95 a month. So I guarantee you can take full advantage of it today. Get in contact with me at 302-270-4507. Even the fish want to get the plan.
They jumping out there.
All right, cool. Let's see here. So, see if I'm back on screen. Still getting used to this. Did I get this? Somebody asked me, did I get this laptop at Walmart? I did not get this laptop at Walmart. And I don't think it's the laptop's fault, so I don't want to blame the laptop. That wouldn't be fair. You know, it's just a defenseless little laptop. I can't blame this thing. So I got to learn how to use it. All right, so we're back, and let's go ahead and move that and that. Okay, so we are back to. Oh, and I got to move. Hang on one second before I do. Let's see. We've got. Okay, so I've got Dan, the dispatcher, has joined us down in the corner there. And we've also got Melissa Mason of Grifo Auto Transport. So I want to thank both you guys for taking time to join us on a Tuesday Nights Live. And John, there's John. What's up, John? Okay, so wait a minute. I want to make sure I didn't screw up. Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, you've unmuted us.
Yes, you've been unmuted. And I unmute you. So, all right. So, we'll start with you, Dan. Dan, you are a dispatcher. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right, cool. And you dispatch for several trucks?
Yes. We do auto hauling dispatch. Several trucks. It fluctuates. 5 trucks, 3 trucks. And we specialize in enclosed shipping.
Nice. Okay, and that's its own beast. And they're mostly like full size? Because we met, as a matter of fact, when I did the live at Creep's Tea House 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes, Jay. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, that was awesome. And thank you for your hospitality. I'm telling you, if you're as good as a dispatcher as you are at hospitality, then your owner's in good hands.
Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I really appreciate it too. So, all right, so that's what you're doing. And Melissa, what do you guys do at Grifo Auto Transport?
We are actually carriers where we load and unload vehicles, which brings me to the software that's coming out, which seems to be more focused on brokers. Because
you work in the office. You're in the office all day, and John is on the truck dealing with the customers, right?
Yes. Correct.
All right. So what Tom was talking about sounds interesting to you.
If I were a broker.
Yeah, if you were a broker, exactly.
Right.
But
I used JTracker when I was a broker.
You used JTracker, okay.
Yes.
All right. And now, was it great or any issues?
I actually I liked JTracker. It was expensive, but it did a lot of the automated work that Tom had mentioned, and as far as the quoting and sending out the emails, but it did get a little too, I think, inundated with customers getting multiple calls from brokers and text messages.
Yeah. Well,
that was our big complaint.
Well, okay, so that's interesting. Now, okay, so there's a question. So how do you manage not inundating customers, like over communicating to them? How do you manage that, Tom? That's interesting.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. What's the right balance between reaching out to customers to get the business and just overwhelming them with phone calls and emails and text messages. Some brokers are more aggressive than others, but the customers are looking for instant answers and instant gratification. I mean, that's the society we live in right now. So the quicker you can get the pricing out to the customers and the more competitive your pricing is, you're more likely to get that customer. Look, when brokers buy leads, those leads are shared by multiple brokers. So customers are going to get inundated with emails and phone calls. But look, again, there's a reason why companies like Yelp and Kayak exist out there, because people want to shop around, want to get the best deal, want to check the reviews, want to get competitive quotes for their for the services or products they're looking to buy. So they get a lot of calls and emails. That's just how that part of the industry works. JTracker does have some of those automation tools. They're very clunky. The pricing virtually doesn't exist. You have to manage these very, very complicated pricing tables and things. You can't automate your emails going out there. You can send out one automated email. That's it. So, but we're also bringing similar approach to help carriers as well. With our load board, with the tools, with the apps that we're building for carriers, we're going to enable carriers to do more, to be able to find loads easier. We're going to enable dispatchers like Dan to be able to find loads a lot easier, right? Instead of making 100 calls a day to brokers to try to, get the load from them, why not go through 100 postings on the load board and make your offer right there on the load board?
It's interesting how I liked what you said about how so much, and this goes with each individual, everybody has their own process. And actually, the car hauling, hey, what's up, John? Please stay. Please stay.
Making sure I'm here.
Please stay. Please, yeah, stay here. Stay here. So the car hauler may be the hardest part to cut down on as far as time intensive, because how are you going to cut down on how long it takes to load a car? You're not going to make them run faster. But when it comes to dispatching, all the detective work and the searching, that could be that process could be made easier. And just as auto quoting that happens while you're asleep or whatever, right? That's already been made to be more efficient. So there's areas where efficiency can be made.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what, again, one of the tools that we've built into our load board is going to make Dan's life a lot easier, because Dan can search for loads for his driver on a specific route that the driver's driving right now. And instead of having to make phone calls to every broker, for every load that's posted on there, he can simply make offers, right? Because there's a bit of a back and forth going on in that communication. You have to make that phone call to the broker. Sometimes you can't reach them. Sometimes they don't answer their phone. What do you do? Well, we're going to allow you to request that load directly from the load board. Click a button. If you agree with the price, the terms, click a button and say, I want this load. And the broker will get a notification saying this carrier wants your load. They already have insurance on file. They're rated such and such. On the broker's side, they click a button that says, sure, dispatch.
This isn't yet. That's an area where another area I wish Central Dispatch would evolve, because there are loads. Yeah, I would just click that button. Just book it, send it to me, done.
Right.
Whereas then it doesn't exist.
Right. And if that broker already has you in their system as a preferred carrier or auto dispatch carrier because they've done business with you before, or Dan as a dispatcher, they know him, they know the companies he's working with, they can set him up on auto dispatch. So when Dan requests a load, if he agrees with the price and doesn't need to adjust pricing or whatever, boom, auto dispatched, right? So those are the kinds of tools that we're bringing to the industry to, again, automate and make it more efficient and make it more so everybody can make more money.
And I tell you, speaking of making more money, like I do, Gump is talking about Cars Arrive allows bids. And that's another thing that I like about Ready Auto. Sometimes I like to be able to easily bid and get more money rather than having to negotiate over the phone. If I can just do it, I like that ability to bid on loads rather than just book it right now, bid for a higher price. What irritates me is when nobody's behind the counter to approve my bid. I've actually run experiments. Like, if I bid on something in the middle of the night, nobody's going to be there. But if I bid on something, like it's the middle of the day, we're all working, and yet still I can't get anybody on the phone, where does this bid go? Like, I hit it and it just goes into the ethos, and like, what's up with that?
Right.
I hate
you don't
that.
know. Goes via email. Somebody's got to look at the email.
That's not automated.
Right. With bats, that's all going to be, again, automated. If you have preferred relationships, you can automatically approve those without a human interaction, right? So this is where technology needs to take this industry, is to that level where it's easier for everyone. You can do your job at any time, right? You can request a load right now. You're finished watching the State of the Union. You want to do some work. You go to the load board, search, find the loads, and request them, or auto dispatch. Again, that's where the industry needs to go to, is automated dispatching, automated pricing, automated, more automation, less phone calls, and it's going to make everyone's lives easier, and it's going to remove, again, some of this bickering going on between the two sides.
So Gump, man, Gump's all over it. He's got another one, and Gump is. I think me and Gump are in the same mindset when it comes to dispatching. Talking about curb weight on all cars. This is another area where Central Dispatch seemed like they were going to work towards a goal. They added the little question mark. I can now get vehicle dimensions on their load board rather than having to copy and paste everything over to Google, go searching through Edmunds, get spammed like I'm trying to buy a car, and I'm just trying to find out the length or, the ground clearance, right? So why did Central Dispatch stop the evolution of helping me get more information while the loads are on the load board? What about in-ops? Yeah, there's that little in-op thing, but there's so much left off. If it's a Copart car, I want it to flash red and black. Look out! Copart car! It doesn't matter that the broker doesn't want that. Just do it. We're going to find out it's a Copart car anyway. I know because I hear text me your company name. That means this is a Copart car. Okay, I feel better. But
no one picked up on that. I'm sorry.
Listen, this is a party of one, and I'm used to it. But because I was a dispatcher, and before I had a live show, I just sat in my office and yelled at the wall. Or brokers. So, and actually, Gump was talking about VIN numbers. Why aren't VIN numbers? Yeah, it's sensitive information, but it's still, why do you have to ask for a VIN number once you've gotten a dispatch? Just give me the VIN number. Why isn't that already part of the dispatch? Now, I realize this goes back into an earlier part of the process of when you're with the customer. The customer doesn't always have the VIN number, okay, or doesn't want to give it, or they're at their hair appointment and they can't provide the VIN number, which is funny because all we're doing is talking about moving your car. But that's fine, we can't get the VIN number. But how about, let's go back to dealers. We know it's at the auction, so where's the gate pass? Can I get the gate pass? I mean, there is a gate pass, right? Somebody has the gate pass. Why do I have to call 5 people to get the gate pass? Am I wrong?
Exactly.
That makes no sense. Or what about office hours? Why do I have to go hunt down the phone book and find out the office hours? Why? Because I know Google knows every office hour in the universe. So why can't it just be automatically attached? I say these things because what I'm trying to do is, Dan, I'm trying to jog your memory. There's got to be something you'd like to see automated. I know. Listen,
Yeah.
unless you like, picking up the phone and doing the same thing a million times, what would you like to see automated?
So, okay, I mean, I just want to open up with when you're getting a dispatch, you must understand that there's a competitive aspect to it. So if you're sending an email automated click, 5 other people may be doing that at the same time. You have to be persuasive to that broker that they're going to be sold that they want to give you the load. So me as a dispatcher, if I'm loading one truck and they have 8 spots on the trailer, once I start getting those cars and filling the truck, more of the load is getting filled up. But a lot of times you really need to get on that phone or really get in those text messages and kind of be persuasive on certain loads. If it's a hot load and it's paying well, you really need to be persuasive and really have a kind of sales kind of pitch. towards the broker or dealer, whoever posted the vehicle.
So you could
So-
because you could be clicking book it, plus you're dialing, and then
Right.
you're also faxing. Someone over there is like on the fax machine. But yeah,
Well,
but if you could
I'll tell you from my experience, when back in the day when it's a slow season and we have 3 dispatchers in the office, our old boss used to tell at this company I used to work for. I've been dispatching for about 10 years now, since 2008. So when I first started and there was a hot load, we would have to blow up the lines so no other carriers can get on their lines. So our boss would tell us, all of us, to call on the same load, and then call on our cell phones and call on every line. Everybody else gets that load because, we had to make sure our truck driver was loaded. So we would blow up their lines on purpose to make sure we get the load. So there's a lot of aggressive tactics that you have to have as a dispatcher, especially when it's a slow season and it's a hot paying load. You really want that load.
So what if you were so here you are, you've already hauled for them, especially when you've already hauled for them. Shoot, don't you hate it when a car gets added on Central and you're like, dude, I just asked you if there was another one. Don't post it.
Yeah, that's happened to me before.
All the time. Just send it over.
Just send it over.
How
It's the
many
same route too. And they're like, oh, you have another spot? Yeah, I have another spot.
So if there were things more automated, and this gets into load matching, right? If load matching worked well, then the broker would already know that you're carrying cars for them without everyone in the office going, yeah, who's that auto transporter we talked to? Before lunch, I don't know, we're late for lunch. Let's get out of here. Just post it.
Exactly. And look, Dan makes a good point. And when it's slow, you want to go out and fight for every load, but you don't make money in the slow season. In the slow season, you're trying not to lose money, right? But when the busy season comes around, that's where everybody makes money, and that's when you need to be automated. That's when you need to be able to do more with less, right? So that you can find the most profitable loads on the board, because there are plenty of them, right?
Yeah.
So what tools do you have to find the right loads? What tools do you have to maybe put a load on your car going from Fort Lauderdale to, I don't know, South Carolina, and then picking up another one in South Carolina going to your final destination in Massachusetts, right? Instead of having one load that only goes halfway, how about having tools that will, constantly keep your truck full, whether you're dropping off midway or somewhere else along the route. So that's where the mindset has to change a little bit too, is where, again, in the busy season, when you have a lot of loads, you're constantly calling out on multiple loads and trying to keep your trucks full, and there's plenty of stuff. And you have to keep in mind that during the busy season, brokers are twice as busy. So their dispatch department is, their phones are blowing up because during the busy season, they have 500 loads posted on the load board. Whereas, in the middle of December, they may only have 150 or 200. So, it's hard to staff up for seasonally in this industry. So you have to use technology to augment that.
I think that's a great point, because if you're in that busy season and your volume is kicking, which you want, yeah, you would definitely use automation. Just send it to that carrier, done.
Right.
What's interesting is that and that's one of the things I like to talk about. I don't think all carriers realize that so many brokers, they just want to get that thing dispatched. Right?
Absolutely.
They don't
if you take their price, they'll give it to you. They don't care. A lot of brokers out there. There are some bigger brokers that we work with that do their, the due diligence, that get the insurance paperwork, that they know what carrier they're working with, that it's a reputable carrier. But when it's busy and you're just trying to get your stuff dispatched, because keep in mind, most brokers get paid when they dispatch the load. So they want to get it, they want to get off their board. They want to get get it dispatched so they can charge customers' credit card and get paid. So, again, think of the middle of the busy season. They want to get those loads going. They want them off their board so they can charge credit cards and get the money in. And the faster they can do that, the more money they can make, and the faster they can turn their cash flow.
I talked about Ready Auto before. I think Ready Auto is another good example of, a lot of times they'll list a load. I think it pays fine. I'm just booking it. Just bang. Like, there's so many times like that where I wish it's a glimpse into the future. Okay, that was easy. It was listed good. I booked it. Give me the info. Now the problem is, now that I got the dispatch, what do I do with it? Like, do I get out the old fax machine and then I scan my fax and then I, mail it? Where did it go? Can I get it digitally? But that's a whole nother issue, and that's where there are so many parts within this. I want to ask you this, John. You said something about the dealership, carrier, and the brokers. Can you elaborate on that?
What do you mean?
Oh, well.
Oh, I say eliminate the lead providers and the brokers. Just have a little system just for drivers and the dealerships.
And not that you couldn't, right? And again, that could actually be something.
This whole industry is messed up because of the lead providers. I've been in this business. I know how it works with the lead providers and the brokers. You got double booking on Central because everybody's out there to make a commission. We had an office. We had how many employees? 6 or 7, something like that. They all try to lie to the client just for this because they were getting paid commission.
Oh, okay.
So most of these brokers mess up this whole industry. I know how it runs. I said it before on your show.
Yeah.
Lead providers. And you got most of the brokers in Florida. They mess up this whole business. You know who loses out? We do when it comes down to money.
And if technology were improved, some of those guys could get cut out, right?
Yeah. If it's, it's going to happen one day. Someone is going to go out there and just, get all those leads to himself and, book the jobs, give the carriers what they want, because we're the ones losing out. The brokers are making the money, the lead providers are making the money, and we're getting screwed.
Well, and I tell you, and I'm going to talk about Convoy for a second again. Convoy is saying one of the business propositions of the technology is to get more of the money back to the carrier, like you said, Tom, operations, to get more of the money back to operations rather than everybody else in the food chain.
Right. John makes a good point. Look, I talk to all sides, right, in this industry because we're a technology company, so we hear it from all sides. Brokers will complain about carriers. They bang up cars. They don't have insurance, this and that, But we got to put that aside for the benefit of everyone. So what we're looking to do is we want to ask carriers like yourself, John and Melissa, what is your price per mile to drive the route that you drive? Load it into our load board, right? And we'll use that data for our pricing engine to provide pricing to the brokers. So brokers will know exactly what it costs to transport that car on that route. You know what you need to be profitable and to operate your business and to run your business and to make money, put food on the table. Brokers need to do that too. They do provide service. They're the sales arm of this industry, right? So that you don't have to make phone calls. You guys have done that. You've had your own brokerage and stuff. So they do provide the service. But if the price, think about if a travel agent was trying to sell you a plane ticket, and they said, "Yeah, it's going to cost you $200 to fly from Miami to New York." You say, "Great, book it." And then they take your money, they turn around, they call Delta Airlines, and they say, "I have a load for $200 from Miami to New York. Will you take it?" Then they call American Airlines. It's $200. Will you right? It sounds ridiculous, but that's
awesome,
how this
man.
industry works.
Totally.
It needs to start with the carrier. Carriers set the price, right? That the salespeople, whether it's a travel agent or kayak.com or whatever app or website that people use to book their travel, right? When you go on there, you pull up you put in where you're traveling and they'll give you the price. And that price is set by the provider, by the hotel, by the airline. So the dynamic needs to change in this industry more towards that, right? So that when all the carriers load their prices into a system, into our load board, we're going to use that data to provide pricing, more accurate pricing to the brokers. So they will know what will ship and what, so they won't price a load from Miami to New York at $300 or whatever, and then try to beat up carriers to take it at $300. So it has to be an entire mindset change to where this industry works correctly, like all other industries where you have brokers and providers or operation and sales in different, in different businesses. So
You got to build that wall.
Yeah. So what's funny is
you got to build the wall.
yeah. Okay, I did it again. All right, so and I'll do it again.
I don't think there's been a lot of clapping to that today, Jay. I haven't seen it, but
I'm getting very
I have a feeling.
Way, none of my clapping represents my actual opinions, just like in politics. Okay. So what's really, but isn't that funny? Who calls an agent now if you need a flight or if you're doing a trip? Like, that's hilarious, isn't it? And yet, here we are in this antiquated Stone Age system where, it's like, hey, who puts their laundry on the line and clips it? Nobody. Well, we do an auto transport, darn it.
That's right.
Crazy.
That's right. There has to be a fundamental shift in this industry, and but everybody has to participate. If you don't, you're gonna get left behind.
That's the problem. Some carriers also they'll take anything just for the hell of it, and it screws us up because it's like, how could you survive? Like a load from Miami to Brooklyn was $1,200. How could you survive on that? And how does Central allow you to put that? For that
and there you go. And I'm glad you said that because
I just don't get it, but somebody will take it.
Well, and then that's why if you need business strategy, you're about to catch a bus at the corner. It may be too late to contact CTS Business Coaching, but that is what we're trying to do. If you've got to understand your baseline expenses. And if that's what you're booking and not only are you breaking even, but you're waiting 30 days to break even, that's a fool's errand.
What I've learned as a broker, what happens is you're competing against other brokers in order to get the business.
One customer, you
and that's part of the problem too. You have 10 brokers trying to get a sale for whatever the commission is. So now you're cutting yourself as a broker too, because you're cutting your commission in order to get that sale.
Do you, this is a good area. Do you have any breadcrumbs to share of how, there's no secret sauce to getting a customer, but there are methods everything has methods. And one of the biggest questions that I think I get asked is, how do you get customers?
Well, you can't. Most brokers rely on leads.
Right.
And they advertise on Google and all the search, Facebook,
which is why
Instagram.
But those are brokers. How does a carrier get customers? And Dan, go ahead.
I'm sorry. If they have these systems in place, they kind of rely on just the systems, which they shouldn't.
They should. Exactly.
No. What if everything went away? Then what?
Well, that's called the Terminator, and that's a terrible movie. But the thing is that, to get customers, that's what's interesting. As much technology as we need,
It's called advertisement.
Well, and that's where, I mean, you know, face-to-face, word of mouth, advertisement,
Word of mouth,
marketing.
advertisement.
Yeah, I mean, and that's so that's one of the things that I like, that as much technology as we can consume and we need and use, there's still so much human relationship that ultimately seals the deal of business.
Yes and no.
All right, cool. Thank you, Tom.
Think about again, booking an airline ticket, right? I mean, a lot of things, anything that can be automated will be automated. Nobody, no, like you said, no one call. I mean, my in-laws do have a travel agent that they still work with, but you know, everybody else is moving to more automated, more, you know, app, website, dealing with that. Because look, when we buy things, why is Amazon so successful? Because we can go on Amazon, right, to search for anything that we want to buy. Toilet paper. Hey, I buy toilet paper on Amazon now, right?
Wow.
Because I'm too lazy to haul it from the store. I buy this giant box of toilet paper on Amazon, right? Because I can go on my app, click a button, and I'm done, right? I don't have to remember.
That's why
next time I go to the store.
That's why traffic is terrible, because I'm sitting behind a truck carrying your toilet paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that dog who ordered a pallet of dog food, you know, in that commercial?
No, I did not.
Ford?
Oh, wow.
Right.
I wasn't paying attention. I was bored.
Right. So it will happen. It will happen. I mean, there is going to be, yes, you still need that face-to-face interactions and things like that. But consumers don't necessarily want that when they're shopping. They want that when you're picking up their car, right? They want to see you. They want to see who, you know, are you presentable? Does your truck look clean? Is my, you know, 3-year-old, you know, second biggest asset that I have in my life going to be, you know, safe on your truck? They want the personalized service at that point. But at the point of buying and shopping for you know, this service, they don't necessarily want to talk to these brokers any more than, you know, you guys want to talk to brokers. I mean, it's a hassle. You get bombarded by phone calls and emails and everything, but unfortunately that's what it, and it's not just in car shipping. I'll give you another example. I had a leak in my house. You know, a couple of windows were leaking, and my wife thought it would be a great idea to go on. I think it was Angie's List.
I was just saying Angie's List.
Right? She thought, oh my God, Angie's List. It advertises on TV all the time. That's a great idea. So she went on Angie's List, put her information in, said, we need someone to check out this leak. I don't know if it's a roof leak or window leak, whatever. Oh my God. All weekend long, she's getting phone calls because Angie's List sold her information to, you know, their equivalent of brokers, right? So it's not just this industry. This same setup is working in other industries as well. But slowly we need to get to the point where you guys who are doing the work out in the field, talking to customers, dealing with problems like Jay has just talked about, when you go to pick up you know, a Toyota Corolla and it ends up being a Ford F-250, you know, you guys need help on that end, right? You need to know what you're dealing with, and that's what, with standardizing all these processes, we're going to eliminate these problems, because we also send confirmation email out of BAT software to the customer, right, to confirm that everything is correct on the order. They can also correct everything through the electronic document signing process. The customer can fix things that are incorrect on the order, and then the carrier will see whether that broker has a signed contract, right? Because the customer signed it in BATS, we can display that on the load board to the carrier to show them whether a contract is on file with this customer. Because that's one of the complaints we hear from carriers often, is that, like Melissa said earlier, brokers are posting loads without contracts just to try to fish for carriers so that they can use that as a sales technique. But if you see right on the load board a little icon, right, that tells you that this broker has a contract for this load, you're going to ignore the other 3 that are listing the same vehicle, because you know that only one of the brokers has the contract on file. So this is going to be a process. This is not going to change, the day that we release this load board. It's going to be a process. We're going to work with you guys, get feedback from Daniel, from Melissa, from John, on how we can improve those processes to make everyone's lives easier.
Can I go to Bat's CRM? Because what I want to do is I want to ask you. So now, I mean, I'm convinced that you've got good information. What can I do to get more
Information
from you over with Bats? What can I do?
So if you go to batscrm.com, click on that link right there that says find out more.
Okay.
That takes you to our marketing website where you can see the details about what we currently have in the software.
Is it running now?
Bat CRM has been running for a year. So this is the broker side of the software, of the solution that we've released. The load board is coming out in about a month, and we're gonna send an announcement out. We're building out the marketing website that's going to show all the features that we're going to have in our load board, so that the carriers can provide us feedback. If you're interested in an early preview or early access to the load board, so you can provide us feedback, we would love to have you. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to send out an email inviting everyone to check out our early release and give us feedback about our load board and all the tools that we've built in there. But this website shows the brokers all the tools and technology that we've built into Bats to make their life easier. So it's fully mobile ready. Brokers can run their business on the move as well. Again, after hours, they get calls from customers, or they get calls from carriers or dispatchers about a load. They can pull it up right on their phone and dispatch it to you directly from their mobile phone.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean,
Carriers,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, there I am. I can't see you. I have a question. Could carriers post loads also on there? Hello?
So, question is, can carriers post loads also?
On the load board.
So,
board.
which is not out yet, but coming?
Sure. I mean, I don't see why not. I would ask why would you want to post a load as a carrier?
Well, if I have like a customer that has 9 cars in Florida going back to Jersey.
Sure. You can't service them all, so you want to dispatch
like my client, so I could do that, right?
Right.
There
Well,
you go. That's a great idea. We didn't think about that angle, but
Dan, please, Dan, because this gets into legal issues, right?
Yeah. Legally speaking, to post and to ship a car for somebody, a third party, you must have go by the federal regulations, have a broker bond. But plenty of people, of course, do not go by that, and they broker out stuff without having a broker bond. But it is, when you get into the legal question, it's actually...
Because actually, carriers are licensed and have insurance.
Right.
The reason you get a bond as a broker because you have no insurance.
Right. So the broker bond is to protect the carrier who receives the load, and it's simple, as if when they raised the broker bond to $75,000, opposed to $10,000, a lot of carriers, actually had a lot less losses because the brokers couldn't screw as much people over. And basically, there is a really thing you need to look for as far as this. Sorry, I have a little daughter coming.
Yeah.
Bring him on the show.
Trucking. This is a family business. Yeah.
The main point is that Central Dispatch does allow carriers to post loads, but there is a legal question if that's even possible to do.
And so Melissa, hey buddy. So Melissa was on the show from High End Transport. She was talking about how just that this is an area where, as a fully licensed broker, we all have things that kind of, we notice and we're like, oh man, I wish that wasn't that way. Just like, surprise Copart cars that'll explode on the truck bothers me as a dispatcher. Well, as a broker, what bothers her sometimes is when she sees people, like a dealer just posting a car and they're not in any way licensed as a broker, and no attempt was made to be on the legal standing as a broker. So it seems like just anybody acting as a broker without being a broker, it's like a real estate broker. I don't think you can go around showing houses and just be anybody without a broker's license. I don't think that it's, so anyway, something to think about. And actually, I don't know the steps that it takes to become a broker, but I think it's governed by the FMCSA.
It's my understanding as a broker, the only reason why you have to have a surety bond is because if you dispatch out a car to a carrier who's not insured and there's damage on the vehicle, so now that carrier doesn't have insurance to pay for the damage, they go after the broker's license. And the other thing that they go after the broker's license or the surety bond is if the broker doesn't pay out on the carrier, so the carrier can put in a claim on the surety bond to reap those the payment.
Yeah. Well, and that we know that there must have been some kind of level of problem because they raised that surety bond from 10 to 75,000.
Yeah.
So clearly something was going on.
Right, and I'm sure it has something to do with damages.
And that's right around the time I stopped showing houses. So,
so on this system, we could, as a carrier, post our own loads on there.
So Daniel brought up a really good point there, that technically you're not allowed to do that, right? By FMCSA rules,
yeah.
because you're not a broker, so you're not allowed to broker out transport for someone else's vehicle, just like you're not allowed to sell someone else's house. So you can post, and this is why dealers are allowed onto Central Dispatch to post vehicles for transport, because they're the legal owner of that vehicle, so they can post it directly.
Okay. That makes sense, right? Since they own the vehicle. I get you.
Right.
I've still heard beef, but that's interesting. So maybe at that point it's just a legal argument.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely look into that and see what are the legal limitations, because we don't want to get anyone in trouble by just allowing anyone to post loads.
Okay, it's funny you say that, because that brings us into the topic, and we're not going to go into it, but there is a topic out there still floating around. That algae sitting on the top of a swimming pool, and that is that Central Dispatch does not really take a look at who's posting loads. Is that a problem? Yeah. That question is out there. I didn't create the question. I found out about it, and I think that's really interesting.
Well, they do some due diligence before they will give you a account to post things on Central.
Okay.
They do check, what type of business are you, a dealer, a broker, or carrier, and they'll give you access to certain features, I believe, that are based on that.
Okay. Well, then that.
I don't know. I mean, this is a question for Melissa and John.
We're going to look tomorrow. We're going to look into that information.
I'm telling you, I'm not.
We're going to do that information, but
I didn't create the rumor. I heard it, and I've heard it several times, and it's an interesting. I don't know.
I think it depends on the volume. Like, I think the volume is when it's considered a broker.
Sounds
if
like
a carrier has insurance, what is it, $1 million policy,
right?
And 500 cargo, I can say I'm a broker because I have insurance.
See, exactly.
Insurance.
So how that works?
We're going to look at it up tomorrow. I mean, why do I pay all this amount of money for a truck and a company? Meanwhile, how much is the bond? for the broker?
75,000.
75,000. They pay 3,000 every 3 months, right?
So it's 1,000.
And they consider themselves brokers. How can we pay more insurance and we're so what? We need a broker license too.
I tell you what. Well, this is where the
We're gonna
technology.
do our research tomorrow.
All right. That's right.
I'm taking off tomorrow.
I'm ready to get out of here. Yeah.
Bullshit. What do I have to pay 2 separate insurances? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, it is. It's very interesting, and that's
Nobody
why,
knows the story.
Well,
I'm gonna look into it, right?
Well, you think of like broker carriers. Now, major broker carrier fleets. We're talking the large companies whose names we hear.
Yeah.
What kind of expenses do they have? But what is their profitability like? I mean, don't you wonder what's the profitability of a company like United Road? Because there sure seems to be a lot of people. Every time I call it somebody different. Who's paying? You're paying. That's an office building of people.
Right. Well, they have a lot of subcontractors that they deal with.
Still got to pay.
And whatever, their workers aren't able to move, they broker it out.
That's why
they do the same thing. They broker out almost half their loads.
Yeah, they do a lot more brokering. I think.
So should I call United Road tomorrow and say, "Where's your bond?"
I don't know.
I don't know.
You could.
I could. Probably get phone threats tomorrow. I don't know. You get me in trouble, Jay.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, all right, I'm in trouble. I'm 10 minutes late. I need to bring. We got Luke of. Oh, I lost my thought. Glostone Trucking Solutions. I think that everyone's going to find this interesting. So let me hang around. We got one more segment, and everyone stick around, and we're going to bring in Luke here to talk about PermitBook. I think this is going to be really interesting. So hang around. Let me run an ad, and we will be right back, okay? Everybody cool? All right.
We're going to do my research tomorrow, Jay.
Yeah.
What is Form 2290? Well, you know, the highway vehicle that weighs 55,000 pounds or more on public highways, you're required to file tax form 2290 with the IRS. Every year, you can do the paper form, mail it in. Don't mess with that. Get it done. Go to ATI2290.com, ATI2290.com. Now, when is Form 2290 due? Well, annual renewal of your Form 2290 for a new tax period must be completed by August 31st every year. And if you purchase and first use a vehicle in January, you must file Form 2290 by the end of February. Keep that in mind. Know the rules. Go to ATI2290.com. Just get it done. Go to ATI2290.com. What's a stamp Schedule 1? After filing your Form 2290, you'll receive a stamped Schedule 1 or proof of payment. You're going to want that. You're going to want to keep that on hand. Go to ATI2290.com, ATI2290.com. What are the penalties for failing to file IRS Form 2290? Well, equal to 4.5% of the total tax due, assessed on a monthly basis up to 5 months. And for late filers, additional monthly payment equal to 0.5% of the total tax due. And so, you don't want to mess around with this. Get it done. Make it easy. Go to ATI2290.com. That's ATI2290.com. Get it done. I'm Jay at Auto Transport Intel. I hope this helps you.
Okay. Hey, that's my voice. So, yes, this is pretty cool. And I got to figure out how to close that screen easier. It's kind of bugging me. Let's see here. Where is this screen at? I'm still learning this laptop. It's no joke, and I don't even own it yet. Well, where does this screen go? Okay, man, cool. Hey, Luke, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
All right, man, good. Thanks for sticking around. I know that it's a little later than I had estimated, But I want to welcome you to Auto Transport Intel. So you've been here once before. You are Luke. You're with Glostone Trucking Solutions.
Yep.
All right, and I know recently you guys were doing a conference. You're mainly focused on carrier compliance issues. Is that right?
Exactly. Basically, it's the FMCSA, all the rules and regulations. We keep you guys in compliance with the rules and regulations, and there's a lot of changes going on, and we make sure people stay up to date on all those changes as well.
And how do you? So when you say you help people, how do you do that? Do people sign up? Are you a service that people sign up with?
Yeah, so we're a service in many ways. So we work with companies from owner-operators. Majority of our business are owner-operators and small fleets. We work with larger fleets, but basically it's we try to help clients stay in compliance with licensing authorities, permits for the trucks and trailers, DQ file management. So if you're hiring a new driver to your fleet, that whole process we can help take care of for you. If you get in trouble at roadside enforcement and you get dinged for some faulty issue or whatever, and you're placed out of service, we can help you create a cap plan, basically a strategy plan on how to get back into in compliance and sort of reducing fines for those penalties. Lots of ways that we help clients. And then, of course, ELDs, the big new regulation, love or hate it, we help. It's a rule, it's a regulation, so we help carriers make sure that they have the best. We have a couple different ELDs that we recommend for different carriers in different situations.
I mean, obviously nobody wants to be in a situation where you need that kind of help, but even just the way you say it makes me think, looking into having some kind of carrier compliance backup plan seems like a really good idea.
Right, and that's what we're here for, because it's, medium and large fleets, they have compliance specialists like us, hired and be able to handle all this stuff. But for owner operators, small fleets, really, they just want to stay on the road and not have to worry about things. And we're one of those companies that can help make sure they don't have to worry about those rules and regulations, that they are staying in compliance.
Cool. And so you, Glostone, is then rolling out another new offering, newer technology to do that, right? What do you have?
Yeah, so the big new thing, so we announced it at our trucking conference. We do it every year. We're based in Portland, Oregon, but it's a live conference that we do every year, available online, and it'll be around next January as well. And we have FMCSA experts there and talking about the new CSA changes. When's that coming? But the new announcement for Glostone is PermitBook.com. Every truck, every driver has a book in their truck with the permits, with the trailer information, anything. When at roadside enforcement, they're like, "Hey, do you have this?" And you pull out the book, and here it is. The big hot topic these days is apps and having everything electronic. So electronic permits, electronic credentials, IFTA and IRP. Those are basically enforcing or allowing enforcement to accept electronic versions of your CAP cards and your IRP, IFTA permits. And a lot of other states, there's 27 states, I believe, currently that allow electronic permits at roadside enforcement. And so what we've done is basically turn that permit book, that big binder of information, you log onto the website, you upload those information, and the driver downloads the app, and the driver can just then pull up the app instead of the permit book, the paper book. And anytime something needs to get updated, that app, it's updated in the back end and the app gets refreshed. If the driver goes out of service, a cell service, it keeps it cached on the phone, so they can still have it on their phone. When they come back into service and something's been updated, it'll update it, and you basically stay in compliance with everything in that permit book right there on your phone.
Sounds like something that fleets would love.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's one of the things we're beta testing it right now with our current clients, getting our again, smaller, medium, larger fleets into it and trying to sort of work everything out. What are these fleets wanting in there? Could we upload insurance information? Could we upload, whether it's like code of conduct or just basic driver information, training information in there? We could potentially upload some of those kind of documentation in there, just be a catch-all, but for the driver. But yeah, so for larger fleets, if you have 5 or 6 trucks, you set up one account. If you have 100 trucks, you set up one account and you add all those upload all those documents and say, this is for this car, this truck, this is for this trailer, this is for this driver. And then anytime, a lot of times drivers switch trucks, and
Totally.
so you can just exactly,
right.
and
Yeah.
so you can just basically move it around in the back office. They just move it around. Your drivers with this truck, with this trailer, and the app, it's automatically updated and it's good to go. So if the drivers are doing their job, or I mean the back office is doing their job anyway with getting those books into the trucks accurately, and the app just prevents all that paper, prevents all that worry about has it been updated recently. And so that's coming for fleets in 2019, June, July time. And we're working out all the bugs right now, trying to make it as best as possible.
So one of your biggest challenges is, look like most states are not ready to legally allow this. Is that right?
So it's about half and half. So 27 states have legalized electronic permits. I wrote an article detailing all the different states and what's currently acceptable. Can you show it on a smartphone or an iPad? Your ELD device you're going to usually have some kind of tablet or electronic in your truck. There's a lot of other states. So 23 other states that aren't allowing it. They still require paper permits, but those things are changing quickly. Each year, these things are changing. We're going to stay up to date and update that information. But drivers have been showing electronic permits for years now in different states and different, where they're driving at. And sometimes they say, hey, yeah, at enforcement, we just said, hey, it's on here, it's good to go. The enforcement guy says, hey, that's fine. I don't really care. So there's some states where enforcement, it's technically not legal for paper or for electronic, but enforcement's allowing it. So we don't recommend it. We still recommending when people are using our app to be sure to have maybe paper, your permit book in the truck for that first year, just for all these states, especially if you're a long haul driver driving across country, that don't have to worry about it.
You have a ton of information on your site. And I was really impressed with, I'm not even sure if it was an email that you sent me, but that list, and it's not on PermitBook.com, is it? But it seems like, with your due diligence per state, you guys are really on top of this information. It's not just an idea you've got and you're floating it out there. It seems like there's a lot of research happening.
Yes. So I'm basically the business development and marketing guy. I get in contact with a lot of the state DOT people to sort of fish for the details. What permits are allowed electronically? And so it's actually on the Glostone website. It's on our news blog section. I think it's our most recent article. So if you just click on blog there, and we do a monthly newsletter. On our homepage, if you go to glostone.com, join the newsletter. It's a monthly newsletter with a lot of this information in it. There's that first article right there, which states accept electronic credentials.
I just want to say, okay, so subscribe here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Really, you can't go wrong with getting carrier compliance information. And yeah, so that's great. So, it seems like everybody, if you're not already in the loop on carrier compliance, you can easily go to glostone.com and sign up for your newsletter.
Yep, and I'm the marketing guy. I'm not going to spam email you guys, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, we do a monthly newsletter with all the latest information, and CSA score changes are coming. Hours of service changes are coming.
Oh man,
Hopefully this year. So there's a lot of stay on top of. But
so much.
In this article, if you scroll down a bit, I go into a little bit of detail of explaining what's changing quickly, and then specifically each state I've highlighted in green.
Amazing.
I'm going to create a map to sort of highlight which states allow electronic permits.
I mean, this is awesome research, man. Putting together a total database like this is hard work.
It is. Luckily, I was able to use another resource to help with it. And some of this data might be a year old. I'm trying to contact a lot of these other state officials to sort of get more clarity. Luckily, here in Oregon, where we're based out of, if you can stay right there and see, they've provided a lot of information of exactly what's allowed electronically. I'm trying to gather all of those details for each state as well. But until I get there, just for example, in Oregon, they're allowing, of course, IFTA and IRP, the cap cards, those are allowed because that's allowed in all jurisdictions nationwide now as of January 1st, 2019. But the Oregon commercial registration cab card, Oregon weight receipts and tax identifier, temporary Oregon weight receipts, oversized overweight permits. Majority of the oversized overweight permits are allowed electronically in most states. So it's just trying to figure out what exactly is allowed, and as the months go by and the years go by, it's going to just quickly change. You're going to see a whole lot more green on there. So that's where things are going. Thanks with ELD, everything's going electronically, and that's where the app comes in. And
dude, we gotta, you know what? We should hook up again soon because I really do want to update my list of licensing fees. All of the licensing that goes into setting up as a new carrier. I mean, it's exhausting.
And then when you get signed up, especially as a new owner operator, man, you're going to get bombarded with people saying they're DOT, saying they're federal agencies, and they're not, phishing, scamming. And so there's a lot of false information out there as well, scare tactics being done. And so we try as much as we can to be clear in that whole process. What does that process look like? And so Glostone, what's great, we can help with, whether it's, owner operators, drivers, they can, if they're driving, they can do permits and licensing and authorities themselves and do it cheaply. And we're all happy for that. But for those that just don't want to worry about the timeline, the process that it takes, the emailing back and forth that you have to do, that's where we come in for the licensing side of it, that we can help alleviate those worries. But yeah, really, we're trying to make drivers and carriers' lives simpler, and we love feedback as well. So if there's information you guys want on regulations, things that are changing, I'll write an article and willing to help you guys out any way we can.
What's your, if to be contacted, what's your email address? Can people contact you?
Yeah, sure. So my email address, it's LucasK, LUCASK @glostone.com.
Awesome. Is that the best way to send you a question or concern?
Yep.
Or how much is your plan, or what do I do?
Yep, you can send it to me, and I can either get you the correct person to answer any questions. We have a large staff, 20 individuals who've handled this day to day, and our president, he speaks at all kinds of, in fact, he was at a conference, I think it's today or tomorrow, Oregon Loggers Association. So we deal with many different industries as well. And so we're very, very affluent in trying to be focused on the content, on the news, on the changes, and help in any way we can. So email me, subscribe to our newsletter. and just sort of see what's out there, sort of get a feel of what we do, and we can just go from there.
Awesome. And then we also got GrifoAutoTransport.com. If you are looking for an honest carrier, husband and wife team to take care of you, you go to GrifoAutoTransport.com. You guys are in the Northeast, right?
Correct.
All right. Okay.
But
Awesome.
we do work throughout the U.S.
Sure.
as carriers.
There we go. Okay, right.
As carriers.
As carriers, that's right. All right, cool. That's awesome. I'm glad you put that in there. And then we also got, we got BestAutoTransportation.com. You guys
We
also
have
have
a few
that?
websites.
Yeah,
Whatever
good.
you want.
AutoHaulers411.com. That's a good domain. Yeah. You got to take that up to Sea-Doo. You guys know about
I'm waiting for a
SEDO?
phone call. Tom is going to give me a call.
That's
I got
right.
a few tips for him.
Awesome. Hey, speaking of
Call me, Tom.
Speaking of Tom, can people get a hold of you if they have questions, if they want to know more? What's the best way to contact BAT CRM to get more information?
Sure. You can call us at the phone number on our website or email us at info@batcrm.com.
All right, so about info@batcrm.com. What's that phone number? Do you know it? 800? It's on the website.
800-401-5933.
5933. 800-401-5933, and that is BATS CRM. And then Dan, I saw somebody is asking if they could contact you. Can you be contacted?
Yes. I have a general dispatch email.
Perfect.
That I have for. That's autoshipexpress@gmail.com.
autoshipexpress@gmail.com. Awesome. All right, cool. So you can send them an email there. And you guys know that if you ever want to contact me, I answer my emails too. autotransportintel@gmail.com. I'll just put that in here. And if there's been something that came up that actually we talked about a couple things that could be future segments. Licensing, what it takes to be a broker would be a good one, and of course one of my favorites is just continuing the onslaught of how do we fix the system and get out of the
Build the wall.
Right, build a wall. Oh man, I already stood up and clapped. I'm like now I'm like the other side of the aisle. I'm like, okay, well I'm not gonna speak.
Equal treatment on Auto Transport Intel.
Exactly, equal treatment. I like it. Listen, I want to thank you guys, all of you, for spending the time. I know it's late. Listen, in car hauling, if the early bird gets the worm, or as we like to say, the in-op Corolla. So, I really appreciate you guys staying up late to hang out with me and be a part of the show. And this is just, it's been another great episode. I'm so proud of it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, you guys. Thank you. All right. Good night. Okay, so here we go, and I'll end this meeting. It's official. Peace out. And let's see here. So now we're back on to so now this is the built-in laptop cam, which I can't run the standalone camera at the same time as the built-in cam, so I got a switcheroo. Now we're back, and we're back. So listen, you guys, by the way, I want to mention, I try to remember this truck and trailer. I believe this is Tabares. His last name is Tabares. Is it Yuri? Yuli. I think it's Yuli Tabares. Anyways, beautiful rig, and I got the picture. I'm using that for the show, so I want to thank him for he shared that on Facebook, and then I shared it on the show, and everything else is kumbaya from there. So listen, you guys, you know that I'm here every Tuesday night, And there's my script here. Whether you're a car shipping customer, auto transport broker, you're a car carrier, you're a dispatcher, lead generator, or dealer, auction, or insurance service provider, whatever it is, if you're part of the car hauling ecosystem, I want you to know you're invited on this show. You really are. And if you're sitting there wondering, gosh, I don't know if I don't have anything to say, look, we put the panel together every week. I set up some interviews. I put the panel together. We bring it on the show. We bring it to you. We make a show. You join the live chat. Bada bing, bada boom, easy peasy. Okay, so, I really appreciate you joining me once again. I know that you had important things to do and State of the Union speeches and all that stuff. And by the way, in case you haven't already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you missed the live chat, you can always comment below the video. I do get more and more comments all the time. You can email me, comment below. You can leave me a voicemail if you can find the phone number, but the best way is to email me. And if you're a new car hauler, we've got ctsbusinesscoaching.com. Get you set up a consultation call with Ty for some coaching and some training. He's doing training. So anyways, I'm about to run the car hauler. This has been another great show. This was episode 71, and we talked about Car Hauler Broker CRM and what it takes to manage your business and your customers. And so listen, I thank you guys so much. Here comes the car hauler. We're at 2 hours, 35 minutes, going strong. The State of the Union is strong. I really want to thank you. I really appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. You take care.